Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the History of Fan Anime. I'm your host, William Chow, and today's episode is going to be kind of a two-parter because I'm going to sort of sort of introduce some of the contents of this sort of thing, and then kind of bring it on to another one. So basically, I have to sort of do an episode to introduce what's going on here. So in today's episode, what I wanted to get into is some more convention stories, and so the first sort of part of the convention story, and the second part will lead to an article out of this animation magazine that came out called VMAX. Okay, but and the article in this particular magazine, VMAX, is called Otaku World, and it's called Meet the Canadians. Okay, and it's written by a person named Kevin Carnovan. Okay, now I've sort of ran into Kevin when doing the various different the tape trading and fan club work that we did with the CFO. Just due to basically mail correspondence. And so, during one of our trips that we did down to, San Diego and the conventions and that kind of stuff they had then, what we did is we basically gathered a whole bunch of friends. There was sort of a collaboration between the Vancouver Japanese Animation Club and the Abbotsford Animation Club, and we basically got together, and we basically got a few people who could drive vehicles and that kind of stuff, and we basically, for the better part, carpooled all the way down to, Los Angeles and through San Diego to go to the conventions. And through this process, I met a lot of the people that I corresponded with. Some of the people I did tape trading, and some of the clubs that I've worked with, and some of the fans of just anime and fan clubs in general. Just met through going through this process. And Kevin was one of these people that I first met, who was an avid cosplayer. Okay, now he's not so much a cosplayer as the fact that he's more of a props player. I guess he collects a lot more sort of movie props and that kind of stuff, and and basically he works those into his various different costumes and that kind of stuff. And it was sort of one of the first times I remember meeting him in San Diego. Him and his wife Terry had dressed up in NASA space shuttle uniforms, right? Right down to the patches and everything else. They had them all down to a science almost, as it were, right? And I was really quite impressed on the amount of detail that he did on various things, different things they did for that. And the other thing that I always thought was kind of funny was that Terry, who was his wife, at the time, we all thought he was rather, very, very lucky to find someone that was, not only interested in anime, okay, because I said, female people that were really interested in anime were really kind of rare to find, but someone who's also, as into the hobby of, let's say, cosplaying or doing anime and that, things, was that into it, shall we say? And he was really, really lucky that he managed to find someone like that. So I remember that one of the things that we he ran into and did was this NASA uniform. And I remember another evening, we decided, okay, hey, well, we're going to go into the San Diego gas lamp district, and we were going to go to, I think it was the Hard Rock or something, right? And he said, okay, we're gonna go to dinner, and and Kevin said, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll set it all up, and we'll go out to dinner, right? And so okay, fine. So we go to this this restaurant at that was like 7 o'clock or whatever, and we're sitting there standing in line, and then all of a sudden, on this particular day, Kevin was with us, and Kevin on this particular day, he was all dressed up in a Han Solo outfit, right? Right, again, right down to the vest and the buckles, and he's even had a version of the blaster and all this other stuff. He's all basically all that the regalia, right? And again, this is at an era where the cosplay wasn't really accepted, but everyone knew what sort of was. As I said, this is the era that we coined the term Trekkies, right? So all those people who dressed up as Star Trek people, we just called them Trekkies, and we pointed fingers at them and going, ah, look at that Trekkie over there, that kind of thing, right? So this is the same kind of thing, So even though he dressed up as a recognizable figure like Han Solo, people still kind of went, look at that weirdo over there. Okay. Anyway, so here we are. We're at the Hard Rock Cafe. We're just waiting for our turn, and then of course, on the the announcement thing that they came up, they're calling out their tables, and they basically went, let's see, and then the announcement went, table for 5 for Solo, Han Solo, table for 5, and everyone sort of looked, Han Solo, table for 5, and of course, here's Kevin dressed up in the Han Solo outfit going, okay, here we go, guys, and they were like, oh, come on, God. We don't know him, really. So that was rather, like, that was sort of the first sort of time where, like, no, that was really kind of funny. But like not so funny. But that was sort of experience with playing cosplay. But I said later on that that thing they have in San Diego what we refer to as the masquerade or the costume contest, right? And we had to do a little skit for that, and this particular year. Okay, so as I said, Kevin and Terry got like lots and lots of cosplay and costume stuff already set up and ready to go here. This year he also had he was going as Barrios as in Appleseed, so that's the big mecha guy with the big rabbit ear guy, and Terry was going to go in as Dunan, right? So she got the whole military outfit and the arms and that kind of stuff, and so they needed someone to basically do a sort of cosplay skit thing, right? And the skit thing that they were trying to do, they needed someone to be the victim, okay? Someone just getting and they basically had to call for help. And so this year we had Anna with us, so she decided, okay, she'll play the victim on the stage, and her role is basically she's supposed to call for help, and then of course the Appleseed guys will come in and they'll save her, okay? And so that was what the skit was, and basically, I have a little bit of that clip saved, and we actually videotaped that one. So again, this is one of these situations where cell phones didn't have video recording devices on them because people are still trucking around more bricks here. So obviously, this is something that we actually had to use a video camera to actually record, and fortunately, we still have footage of that cosplay here.
Number 9. Appleseed. It is the year 2127. The city of Olympus is a fragile paradise, guarded by those who must serve and protect, and do that which must be done with a really big gun.
I just wanted to use this episode to go over this person that I met named Kevin and his wife Terry, and basically how we started our relationship of going down to the convention. And again, we'll do more stories about the convention and whatnot in future episodes. But this is sort of the introduction for this. So What you want to do right now is you want to go down below and click like and click subscribe, and then we'll get into more episodes, including this follow-up episode for this. Okay? So, until next time, see you again.